Welcome to Fearless and Free Awakening After Divorce. I want you to know I am divorced, and when I was divorced, I was angry, bitter, and hurt. If that is how you are feeling right now, if you're going through a divorce, your divorce is ended, I want you to know you no longer have to feel that way. I don't. And my goal for you is to become calm and centered. But in order for that to happen, in order for that goal to become real, I would like to encourage you to ask two questions. One, is God answering my prayers? And two, how often is God doing that? I encourage you to make a commitment to be consistent with partnering up. And when I use the phrase partnering up, that's prayer. Why am I asking you to make a commitment to those two questions? Because unwittingly, you will be building your foundation of faith. It will become readily apparent pretty quickly that God answers every prayer. There is no prayer that gets unanswered. When your faith becomes so unshakable, there's not a doubt in your mind that there's a higher power. Your faith will become so unshakable that you will be able to step out and trust the unknown. Most people can't do that, but you will be able to do that if you ask these two questions. So now I'm going to give you, I guess, sort of a journalistic list of questions. You know, the who, what, why, when, where, and so on. Who do I pray to? Well, my higher power is God. I fully recognize that God is known and called by many different names. Now, I happen to use God. Some of you might say Mother, Father God, Spirit Guide, Allah, Yahweh, Jesus. It honestly doesn't matter. Whatever is meaningful to you in how you address your higher power, that is what is important. So stay with that. So why do I pray? Well, I pray quite honestly so I don't worry. I mean, I don't want worry to become my middle name. There's nothing better in life than to know your stomach is no longer gnarled up in knots because of worry, fear, or all those negative emotions. That's why I pray. And I do it really every day. Now, how do I pray? Well, now this is where I recognize that there are some religions that have what I call an adversarial approach to God. So that if something happens into your life, let's say a hiccup, and let's face it, you know, hiccups are universal. I mean, there's no discrimination on that. They are universal. We are all going to have hiccups that happen in our lives. All of us, no exception. The adversarial approach to a higher power is going to say, well, that's happening in your life because you were not following the teachings. That's why your life is so miserable and that things are happening in a negative way. The other concept or approach or viewpoint of God is one that where God is a friend. Now that's how I look upon God. God is my friend. God, I know, is going to be there 24/7. God is going to be there at 11 p.m. God is going to be there at 3:17 p.m. God is going to be there at 7:25 in the morning. It doesn't matter. God is there. And I also know from just my personal experience, I look upon God as being pure genius. I am absolutely amazed when I partner up with a question and the answer comes back? How God does it, I don't know. But now that's how I pray. I just simply have a conversation. God, here's the deal. This is what's going on. So in other words, I don't use thee. I don't use thou. It's straightforward. This is what's going on, God, and I need your help. Now, when do I pray? Well, I pray whenever I'm flustered. I'm frustrated. I need a solution. I don't know which direction to go. Is there an organization that could help me out? Are there people that could help me out? God, just guide me. I just need your help. And what do I pray for? I honestly pray for solutions. And of course, how does God answer? Well, God answers all prayers via thoughts. That is how God answers prayers. So you have to pay attention. Okay, God answers prayers via thoughts. Now, I would like to give you an example of a prayer that I did recently where I was flustered. I was frustrated. I could not get the rubber backing onto my earring. And I had an appointment that I needed to get to at 9 o'clock. And I particularly wanted those earrings to wear that morning because they went so perfectly with my outfit. You know how that goes. Out of frustration, I said, okay, God, here's the deal. I cannot, for love nor money, get the rubber backing onto the earring. Can you help me? Because I have this meeting. I got to get going. I want you to know the millisecond, I partnered up and asked God for help, the rubber backing went onto the earring. Now, if you're thinking, oh, seriously, I mean, you mean to tell me you did a prayer over something so ridiculous as a rubber backing? Something so mundane? Well, I'm going to throw it right back at you. Did that prayer eliminate my frustration? Yes, it did. Did that prayer enable me to wear the earrings I wanted to wear with the outfit? Yes, it did. Did that prayer alleviate disappointment? Oh, dang it, I'm going to have to pick another set of earrings. Yes, it did. Did that prayer eliminate worry? Yes, it did. Prayer was a good thing. Now, I bring up that prayer, and I specifically put it into this segment because I honestly want you to be comfortable with partnering up on any issue that crosses your path. No prayer is ridiculous. No prayer is mundane. God is there. And you know, a truism that my son always said to me is this: God is not a bully. God is not a bully. God is not going to force his way into your life. So how do you let God in? You do it with prayer. Simply prayer. Now, I want you to know next week, I am going to be sharing with you how prayer actually saves you time. Yes, prayer saves you time. You know, we live in this crazy rush world, but prayer will save you time if you allow prayer into your life. Now, before we go, I want you to know this. You are awesome. You are the best. And no one, and I do mean no one, comes any finer than you. And that's the truth. Until we connect, be blessed.